Quarterfinal Saturday continues at the 2019 Ingalls Southern Conference Basketball Championships presented by General Shale. The first of two games tonight. The 2 seed, the reigning tourney champion Uncg Spartans against the 7 seed, the Samford Bulldogs. From Ingalls comes our tournament bracket. Earlier on this Saturday, number 1 and 22nd ranked Wofford rolling over VMI. Then we had a tight one in the second afternoon game, a 4-point victory for the 4 seed ETSU. They'll get Wofford in a Sunday semifinal. Tonight will determine the other side of the bracket. Hi everybody, welcome back into Asheville, North Carolina with Dean Keener, Pete Hannity with you. A ball game tonight between a couple of teams that played some pretty fierce battles this season when Uncg took a couple of games from Samford. Two players we're going to feature that are making their native Spain proud. Francis Alonso has been a great guard in this league for 4 years now, while there's a 7-footer on the other side for Samford who's come in his lone season playing for the Bulldogs and done some nice things.
Certainly has. In the most intriguing game of the day here in Asheville, I think we deal with our most intriguing player. Ruben Guerrero, 12 and 8, will go along with 3 blocks last night. He shoots 60% from the floor. I mean, he leads the league in block shots. He will need to be a force tonight if the Bulldogs are going to be a factor. For Uncg, Francis Alonso, first team All-SoCon, one of the most talented offensive players in the league, over 2,000 career points. He is a career 41% three-point shooter, 87 for the line. You've got to find him and you got to stay with him in the half court.
Here in Asheville, North Carolina, the third member of our broadcast team is Stormy Bonatoni.
Thanks, Pete. First time we get to see the defending tournament champion Uncg Spartans, and despite sweeping Samford in the regular season, head coach Wes Miller called them an extremely dangerous team. He said to him, they're one of the top teams in the league because of the way that they've competed with those top 4 teams. Look at the games at ETSU overtime, at Wofford overtime. They beat Furman, had tough games against them twice, and Miller said Samford's shown they can play with anybody in the league, so we'll have to do our work early and often. And speaking of Francis Alonso, guys, he just buzzed his haircut this morning, apparently, so the flow is gone from what we saw at shoot-around yesterday.
I'm okay with that.
I hadn't really even thought about hairstyles. I'm one who doesn't necessarily. Then again, you're one too. Really doesn't have to worry too much about how the hair is arranged. But we are ready to go. Kyron Galloway, one of the youngest juniors in all of NCAA. He is still 19 years old, and this is 3rd season with Uncg.
Both teams are comfortable playing fast.
What a spin move inside. Allen can't get it to go, but you see the length on the rebound. Took it away from Hamilton, and then Galloway, who's got really athletic ability, his 30th block of the year.
They've got a couple of guys inside that can defend and block shots. Dickey's the better of the two, but Galloway not far behind. In fact, a lot of similarities between those two players. Now the patented 1-2-2 3-quarter court by the Spartans generally do this after made field goals, but at this point they want to.
And Scott Padgett was telling me the other night that, you know, when he sees this sprung on him, he tells his guys, look, we've got all the pieces in place to not get disrupted by that kind of press. And that time they were able to break through it, and Allen comes through with a bucket. Troy did moments ago. Let's see if Uncg, Caleb Hunter out high, can do it again.
Bulldogs doing a nice job on Alonso. He's not gotten a clean look.
That's a freshman defending him, but he drives inside around DeAndre Thomas and the rest of the Samford defenders. It's a 4-point game.
If you can't shoot the 3, drive to the basket. Nice job, made a tough shot.
And James Dickey cruising on in for a rebound. He averages nearly 8 a game. He's a guy who's really come along with rebound and defense. He can add just a little bit more to offense. Next year, he'll be a lead candidate for Player of the Year. Galloway on the follow of the Dickey miss, and the first lead of the night for Uncg. Wes Miller instructing his Uncg Spartans, the former North Carolina Tar Heel. In his 8th season, 138 and 114 is his record. A job that required patience from those above him at Uncg. They granted that a very smart move on the part of their athletic director.
A very smart move by Kim Record, who, by the way, has done a great job with the athletic department overall at Uncg. But yeah, hung in there. West took over and they went 11-11 in his first interim season. And then there was some bumps in the road as they were building it. As you see the Spartans and all of the best they have. I think they have the best backcourt, the best sophomore you see right there with the ball. Josh Sharkey pretty darn good himself as a junior.
Isaiah Miller has really progressed offensively as a sophomore. Couldn't get that one to go down. Luke Massey spelling Dimitri Troy, the starting point guard. Now, when you consider the best backcourt for UNCG, are you considering a two-man tandem of Miller and Alonzo, or a three-man tandem that includes Troy as Hunter goes in? No, but there's Dickey, a guy who was just a bear at 6'9" when he gets elevated.
Yeah, he certainly is. I think a 4- and 5-man, when I take in totality, you talk about Malik Massey and even Legri, who has given them some quality minutes. So I think there's a 5-person. And now, Wofford would have something to say about that.
Yes, they would.
With their overall backcourt and body of work.
2 lead changes so far. From the corner, Allen off to a good start, scoring, and that's what 7 feet can do for you. Guerrero, the tip in. Samford a 25-24 advantage, and another change in who's leading in this ball game.
Junior point guard out of Philadelphia has been just magnificent here in the first 17 minutes.
Alonzo. Boy, it would be fun to watch a catch and shoot contest with Alonzo and Fletcher McGee. In a way, it kind of came down to that in their semifinal game last year in this building.
Now a 2-3 zone by the Spartans, a little change up. Normally they've been falling back to man after that three-quarter quarter.
Freshman who's come through big in this half, Thomas, and that time give him an assist. And Guerrero, that entry pass, some of the teams in this conference will front the post. They will do everything they can to deny the ball ever getting into a big man, and I'm not sure that was UNCG's plan that time, but at several moments in this game we've seen Guerrero get behind the D with the ball.
And he's finished. You know, last night he looked a little tired at times. He looks fresh. He's finishing with both his left and right.
And he's playing as much basketball in a season as he ever has, because his prior stop, he was basically a reserve at South Florida. The runner by Miller 5 seconds ago, the rebound by Guerrero. Sharkey will heave just beyond midcourt. And that's how we arrive at halftime here in game number 3 on quarterfinal Saturday at the Southern Conference Tournament for 2019. A most anticipated men's tournament this year. A top 25 team in Wofford. 3 others among the big 4 that have been dominant in the conference this year, including Wes Miller's UNCG Spartans, but Scott Padgett with Stormy is giving them plenty so far.
Well, you've had a double-digit lead against UNCG at this point before. What have you been doing well that you're hoping to sustain in the next 20 minutes?
The defensive intensity and the ball movement. We've been sharing the ball. Defensive intensity, got to the backboard, challenging shots. We've got to do it for 20 more minutes.
How impressed have you been with Josh Sharkey and all that he's been able to do facilitating?
Has totally controlled the game on our end for the offensive end, and that's why we're getting good looks. Just consummate point guard today, just controlling everything.
Thanks, Coach.
He's got to be happy with what's going on the offensive end. The Samford Bulldogs have had reason to be bouncing around in the ball game tonight. 26 of 43 points in the paint, a combo of 25 for Guerrero and Allen. They're up by a dozen at the break.
Now the Spartans look like they're going zone on made, man on miss.
Now they look into Guerrero, who has the attention of Dickey, so Austin takes it himself. And a man is down for UNCG. Francisco Alonzo might have taken a shot to the head.
And look, you know, in the scouting report, you know it's coming, and you prepare for it.
Nolan thought about the lane, instead to the corner, and Thomas. He's a freshman growing up in a hurry. 10 points in the game for DeAndre Thomas. Allen hit a 3 earlier. Can't get the bounce, and a good box out by Allegri on the 7-footer Guerrero. Troy steps back with a hand in his face. Fired it over Allen. Demetrius Troy, 32% three-point shooter. In this game from beyond the arc, UNCG now 7 made threes, or 7 out of 16.
Where's Demetrius Troy been this second half as a senior who's played so many games, so many big games? He needs to step up as well.
Austin, he likes that spot on the floor. Not that time. Dickey the rebound. Spartans can pull within 2, maybe 1 on this trip, as we're coming up on 4.5 to go.
You might ask, how often has Samford been in this situation in a big game with, well, I don't know about big games, but they've been in 7 overtime games, so an awful lot of close ones.
Alonso, nothing but net from out front, and indeed, the Spartans are back within one. UNCG.
Yeah, they've been aggressive, but it hadn't been that man-to-man, exactly.
Sharkey kicks, baseline Gordon pulls up. Rebound comes down to Dickey, and the Spartans with the ball looking to build on their 1-point advantage.
And James Dickey, who just pulled down that big rebound, was in this last huddle telling everybody, don't gamble, don't reach, just get stops and rebound, be solid. So exactly what you guys were just conveying, Dean.
Two higher seeds have held serve so far today. Number 1 Wofford, number 4 ETSU. Can UNCG with a second half rally and a comeback from a dozen down to the break be the third? Alonso inside, getting close to a 30-point game. He's got 29.
Now, there was no way he was giving that up with 9 on the shot clock, even as he attacked Ruben Guerrero inside.
They use Dickey now in the pressure near midcourt. 77-70. Austin. Rebound Troy, that's going to do it. Final 5 seconds will wind down. Alonso, 20 of those 31 points in the second half, and UNCG for a second time this year rallying from a dozen down at halftime to come back and beat the Samford Bulldogs, a Spartans team that moves on to 27-5. They match the overall win total of the Wofford Terriers. Wes Miller and crew will play on semifinal Sunday against the winner of our next game between Furman and Mercer. Samford, their season pretty much in a nutshell that we watched play out here tonight. There were great highs for them, but also an ultimate low for the Bulldogs, whose season comes to an end at 17-16.
You're exactly right. I mean, there's a lot of talent coming back for this Samford program. You also had a Stanley Henderson and Jalen Dupree, 2 guys sitting out that will add to this Bulldog program. But for now, it's all UNCG advancing. Wes Miller's got himself a team, and they got a chance against either opponent tomorrow to advance to try to defend their title.
The top 4 in this Southern Conference this season have dominated the lower 6. That has continued as a trend here in Asheville so far, with the number 1 Wofford Terriers, number 4 ETSU Bucks, and now the number 2 and defending tourney champ UNCG Spartans all advancing. Can the Furman Paladins join them in a Final Four at the SoCon as they're number 3 and face number 6 Mercer next? We hope you join us for that ball game within about a half an hour to 45 minutes. For now, we say so long from Asheville, North Carolina. For Dean Keener and Stormy Bonatoni, Pete Hannity. Final score, Samford seeing UNCG come back for a 7-point win. This has been a presentation of ESPN.